Sales Crunch. Learn more, earn more.
And Greg, how do you guys, the 2,000, 3,000 bloggers that you have, if there were one thing, I mean, you've gotten a tremendous amount of press, so this is your lead generation too, right? Your content, I mean, you are a content company, but how do you leverage this community of bloggers? If there were one thing that you do right with them to get this whole momentum going,
sure,
to drive traffic and ultimately leads to the Huffington Post, what is it?
Yeah, so I think, well, the big payoff for them is we're so big that they reach a large audience, but the payoff for them are our comments. So I'm not going to ask you to guess, but last month we got 3.9 million comments to our stories, 3.9 million. And what we've been able to do is to leverage our users, our audience, to help us moderate the conversation. So if you've been on the Huffington Post and you go take a look at the comments, you see commenters with badges. They actually learn badges. Kind of like Tom Sawyer, got people to pay them to whitewash his fence. People want to volunteer their time to moderate our comments. So we have algorithms and we have machines that do the first line of moderating for profanity and those things. But you have wackos out there with conspiracy theories and just assholes. You know, everybody understands that, right? You know what they are. And if you're trying to have a social discourse, you need a reasonable ability to have a conversation. So our moderators, we have a few thousand of them, they watch and they look at the conversations and they pick up things that machines can't pick up. So the payoff, we actually have 10,000 bloggers, probably 4,500 are very active bloggers that come to us to moderate that. And a year ago we had 1.5 million comments. Now, you know, about close to 4 million, as I said. We're expecting that by the end of next year to be over 7 million comments. You have to be able to do that. So if you're a blogger, you want to read, you want to see that people read your stuff, and you want to learn from your stuff. So one of our bloggers is on all the time, this Dylan Radigan, you see him on MSNBC. What he tells me is he reads the comments more than anything, and he's so much more intelligent about what he just wrote about after reading all the comments, after getting feedback. So what turns them on is scale and feedback. That really keeps it going. So if you have that ability to have what I'm calling participatory media, where you don't just read the story, you share it, you retweet it, you Facebook connect it, you see it on Google, you comment, it doesn't just stop there. And then we provide modules where you can actually do a quick search through Bing on videos about a particular topic. So that's what gets our users excited. And you know, as you were talking a second ago, one of the things I was thinking about is this is a sales seminar. So for those of you out there that want to contact any of us, I have a clue for you. Anybody that writes any more than 3 lines and doesn't get right to the fucking point will have no chance of us responding to you. Am I right?
Absolutely.
You know, so it's still surprising in this day and age. We're talking about sales. Well, people try to sell us all the time, and when people send kind of broad-based emails, of course, nobody reads those. They just get knocked right out. But if somebody really wants to come in and takes the time to really think about a 3-liner to get your attention, that's what gets my attention. If it goes anywhere near the fold on my screen, it's gone. I can't do it. We have too many people contacting the people that are here. It's almost unfair, but there are certain and better ways to get through.
Somebody keep it a tally of the F-bombs, by the way.
It's just one. Leave it there.
So we've talked a lot about, is it safe to assume with all the press that Huffington Post has gotten that your sales team is pretty busy with you know, people like the CMO of Nissan wanting to do something with you, that they don't have to pick up the phone and call anymore?
So I would say that today, by the way, we have 150 people in our total company today. By the end of next year, we'll have 350. But again, scale, 150 people generating as much traffic as the New York Times, it's pretty remarkable. But on the sales side, I'm there a year and maybe 3 months. We've revamped the team. I would say that still 8 out of every 10 meetings that we have are introductory meetings. Anytime you think people understand your product, you're probably wrong. So the presentations and the times that we have with people, I walk into an office, I don't know if the person that's looking at me sees me as a rock star or believes that I'm some left-wing representative from a radical publication that's going to blow up their building. But it's about 80% that love what we do. The other 20% you don't know, where they come from. So you have to assume that people really need to get to know your product, even though they may be a real reader. They don't know who reads it because we've been in business for 5 years. We've only reached out really to the marketing community for the last year and a half. So we take nothing for granted. And I would say still, everything that's sold at the Huffington Post is stuff we go out with fishing poles and fish and sell, as opposed to fish jumping in the boat. We don't get too many of that. Could I bring up something else relative to this, please, Sean, which is, we can all talk about the customer-facing side and bringing in leads, talking to customers, generating revenue, but it should go without saying, but I think it needs to be said that, we have these teams of account managers and sales planners that really make sure the stuff gets done. And you can have the greatest sales team in the world to shake the trees and to bring revenue in, but if you don't have your sales operations really set up, you're going to fall on your face and you're going to lose your best salespeople because they can't handle, it's their credibility online. The other part of that point is the fact that we found some of our best sellers that grew up through the account management system and through that kind of feeder bucket that understand the products, they're smart people, they just haven't gone out, and when given the chance, our batting average has been very, very positive.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest mistakes people, especially startups, make is that they think salespeople can be jack of all trades. They can generate their own leads, they can close those deals, then they can manage those accounts afterwards and still hit their quotas, which is just stupid, right? So I think specialization is huge and support is also really big.
Sales Crunch. Learn more, earn more.